Hey guys, Andrew and Logan, great to be with you for another video today. And today I want to talk about improving our resilience, getting back up after we've fallen off the horse. Because we know life is going to give us challenges. We know we're going to get rejection, we're going to have challenges, we're going to have doubters and negativity from family. But the more resilient we are, the more we can grow through these challenges, the more we can move into success. And that's the key. So we've got to know, what are the strategies we can put in place to grow ourselves, our personal development, so that we can be more resilient, so that we can cope with the challenges of life, and then we have success. Because one of the great misunderstandings is that success and failure are not opposites. Failures are part of the pathway to success. Mediocrity, just being average is the opposite of success. If we want to be above average, we want to be successful, we want to have a great life, there will be some failures along the way, but it's whether we use those as a wall to stop us or a stepping stone to build us. So I want to run you through a little exercise that you can do. So you'll need a pen and paper for today's video, and you can do this little exercise and just identify where some of the challenges may be in your resilience so you can get to go to work on them, okay? So what we need to do is we need to write down these 7 words. Purpose. Autonomy, me, relationships, progress, mastery, money, and recognition. Okay. So these are 7 words. Now these 7 words are the drivers of human nature, okay? These 7 things are what drive people. So people are driven by finding their purpose. Or if they've found their purpose, they're driven by that purpose every day. And that purpose is the fuel in the tank that gets them going. Autonomy, the ability to live your life on your own terms. So for some people, that means going off the grid, going out into a mountain cabin or living in a van and just driving around and living your life like that. For others, autonomy means having financial freedom, because financial freedom allows you the choice to live life on your own terms. So I'm very driven by autonomy, right? And we'll get to that in a sec. Relationships. Are you driven by the people around you to strengthen those relationships, to have more time with those people, family, all that sort of stuff? Is that one of your key drivers that drives you as a person, serving those people, being with those people? Progress. Are you driven by progress? Are you someone who is just always wanting to move forward? You do not like being stuck. You do not like staying in the same position. And that can be a very nice position. And we see this a lot where people, they build their business and they're like, yep, I'm financially free, and then I'm gonna sit around and then just enjoy life. And after a week or two, they get bored, okay? I know that feeling. It's like, oh yes, I'm financially free, yay. Now what do? Because they're driven by progress, wanting to do something each day, wanting to grow and develop. And that rolls into mastery. Do you want to master something? Are you into mastering a sport? Into mastering chess, mastering archery, mastering network marketing, mastering online marketing, mastering communication? Are you driven by education and learning? Money. Are you driven by money? There's nothing wrong with being driven by money. It's then what you do with the money that will sort of define you. But people are money driven. And along with that as well, people are recognition driven. And the network marketing industry offers great recognition. The ranks, the titles, the awards, the trophies, walking across stage, getting your novelty check or your car keys or whatever it is. Those sorts of things drive people. They want to sit there and I'm going to build my business to this point next year so I can walk across stage and get that check. Okay? So we're all driven by these things and all at different levels. Okay? So here's what we need to do. So we need to write down these things, and then we need to go through and give every one of these, each one individually, a score out of 5. So it's not ranking them. It's not, well, this one's above that one and that one's less important than that one. We're not ranking them. We're just individually looking at, are you driven by your purpose? Are you driven out of 5 by autonomy? Are you driven out of 5 by your relationships? Okay, so we're going to go along and say, you know what, I've found my purpose and I'm really driven here. I'm 5 out of 5 here. Autonomy, and personally, this is a huge one for me. It's not about the money, it's about the choice that I get, and that choice allows me to live my life on my own terms. That really drives me. Family, relationships, big driver for me. Okay, progress. Do you want to keep growing? Do you want to go, well, you know what, actually I'm pretty comfortable where my life is, so, you know, for this example, we'll give that one a 3. And mastery, so just mastery, I mean, I'm sure you've heard of the book GoPro, Eric Worre, I'm sure you've heard of Eric Worre. He says that at the very start. It's so important. He says, I wanted to be an expert at something. I wanted to be an expert in network marketing. Like that was what I set my goal at. How do I become an expert in network marketing? How do I master network marketing? And I remember reading that book and thinking the same, and thinking, if I can just master network marketing 1% as well as Eric Worre, I'll make 1% of what Eric Worre makes. And that was enough. Like, I'm sure I could, like, at least Angie and I could leave our jobs earning 1% of what Eric Worre earned. So that was the key, right? Look what Eric Worre did, because he was driven by mastery of network marketing. So he was driven by that mastery. So in this case, it's like, oh, you know what, like, yep, mastery is pretty important to me. Money, look, it's important, but it's more about the autonomy. So I'm just going to give that one, well, we'll give it a 4 because it's pretty important, but it's more about like what it allows me to do. And then recognition, you know what, don't care. Don't care about rank, titles, stage, walking across, any of those sorts of things. Now again, there's no right or wrong answers here, okay? This is just you looking at each individual one on its own merits. And how important out of 5 is it in your life that you have a purpose? How important is there that there's a reason that you get out of bed every day and it's not your bladder and it's not your job, okay? Are you driven by autonomy? And do you want to live life on your own terms? Or are you happy just going with the flow? You're happy doing what you're told, happy going along, being someone as part of society and living in the culture you're in, but you're not there to rock any boats or anything like that, okay? You're gonna go through each one of these and give it a score out of 5. Then, what we need to do is we need to look at these and say, how many got a 4 or 5 out of 5? So in this example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, there were 5 4s and 5s, and there were 2 1s to 3s, okay? So 5 out of the 7 were important or very important here, which means I'm going to be pretty resilient if this is the case. I'm going to be pretty resilient because there are a number of reasons that I want to change my life. I'm going to be driven by numerous things. So if I'm sitting there one day and it's like, oh, you know, I don't really want to do this, think about my relationships. Think about our autonomy. Think about your purpose. Think about your mastery. Think about the money that's going to come with it. And you get that drive to get up and go again. If you only scored a couple that are 4 or 5, that's when things can be challenging. That's when your resilience can be tested because there's only 1 or 2 things driving you every day. And especially down here, if it's mastery and recognition, if it's money and recognition, this is where we see people blow themselves up in network marketing. This is where we see people get themselves in a lot of trouble. Because we know with front-end bonuses, there's a lot of money up front, okay? We are long-term wealth. Talk about this in all the videos. There's long-term wealth if you get to work and you do this long-term, okay? And you build that residual income. Yes, there's great money. There's a lot of money up front to help people get started. And if you come in and you make you make some waves and you really get moving fast, the company's going to recognize you. You're going to be up in lights. You're going to be on stage. You're going to be on the team calls, and that drives people. Again, there's nothing wrong with that as long as it's not the only 2 things that drive you. Because at some point you kind of hit that wall, you hit that dip, right? And the bonuses dry up and the kind of fast starts, they all dry up, and then you kind of, we all hit that little dip where life just boom, hits us and our income drops and the money starts to dry up a little bit. And the recognition is going to dry up eventually because it's someone else's turn. It's someone else's turn to be on the stage. It's someone else's turn to hold the microphone. It's someone else's turn to hold that check. And the recognition dries up. And that's where we see people quit. That's where we see people do silly things. Or they might manipulate the compensation plan, or they might do something silly, or they might kind of get themselves in a little bit of trouble because they're desperate to win the trip. They're desperate to win the prize. They're desperate to be recognized. And this is where things go wrong, because they're only driven by one or two things. Now, I'm just saying money and recognition in this case because they're two that we see, especially in this network marketing industry. You may only be driven by relationships. You don't care about anything else except the relationship you have with your team. That you get into this, this team culture, and you're surrounded by people, and that is essentially your church. It is where you get to be with people that you love, and you just want to be that, and everything else doesn't matter. And that's fine. Again, there's nothing wrong with that, but it's very easy for that thing to fall over, because if the culture, if the team, if the relationships are the only thing holding you in, and then say some kind of flu or pandemic happens, and suddenly you can't be with your team, suddenly you can't surround yourself with people, all of a sudden, it's very easy to just roll over and say, you know what, actually, I don't want to do this thing anymore. So the key to resilience is digging deeper. The key to resilience is sitting here and saying, you know what, I need to dig deeper. I need to have more depth in myself. I need to personally develop myself where I'm not just driven by relationships, where I'm not just driven by the money. It's not about the money, it's who I become from the money. It's what I can do with the money. It's the choices that I can get. It's the mastery. It's knowing that I mastered network marketing. I mastered something, and I stood there on stage and I was able to teach people. Because it's not about the recognition of being on stage. It's about knowing that your business is progressing and you know what you're talking about, and people are putting you on stage because you're so good at what you do that you can teach people because you've mastered it. That's what we need to do. We need to grow our resilience by growing ourselves and growing the depth and width of our character so that we are driven by many things. Because if you can get all of these 4 or 5 out of 5, then you won't quit. Then you'll just be so driven every single day that if, something's come along and there's a fight in the team or 2 people aren't getting along, you know what, that's fine. I'm just gonna park that relationship to the side for a sec because I've got all these other things that are driving me. And you know what, actually the business hits a little stall point, a leader leaves and the money just drops a bit. You know what, that's fine because I know I can get better. I know this is my purpose. I know I'm gonna get better. I know I'm gonna smash this thing and crush it, and then I'll get that back up. I'll get our business back up, no worries at all. This is the key to growing yourself and becoming that amazing leader. And the more depth of character you have, the more people you attract. And the more amazing people you attract. Again, the final thing is if you're only driven by 1 or 2 of these things, and especially the flashy ones down the bottom there, you will only attract people who are only attracted by those things. And when you only attract people with short-term mindsets, then you do turn this into a bit of a get-rich-quick scheme. And this is not a get-rich-quick scheme unless you treat it like a get-rich-quick scheme. So don't do that. Don't be that guy. Don't be that person, okay? Build ourselves. Let's show the world that network marketing is amazing because we grow people. We grow people and we develop people, and then the business kind of takes care of itself. Let's become great people. Let's become the great leaders that this world needs. And we do this through this amazing vehicle of network marketing, through leadership, through development of character of ourselves. And then you will have an amazing business and you will never quit. You'll be resilient, you'll be strong, and you'll get to the top. So guys, I hope that gives you value. I hope that helps with everything that you want to do. As always, if I can help in any way, drop a comment below, let me know. I'd love it if you click that subscribe button, click a like, let me know that you love this video. And guys, if there's anything else I can do, just reach out, sing out. If you need a roadmap to success, don't forget my free book, The Way Out. It's your 7-step roadmap to financial freedom, and it will take you through the step-by-step process to grow a great business, have that mastery, okay? Guys, I cannot wait to see you on the next video, and we'll catch you then.